It's Friday afternoon, and you know what that means. Hello, Luke Michael Howard, clinical hypnotist and addiction specialist here with your Facebook Live. Today's Facebook Live is entitled, What the F Does Your Hair Have to Do with Your Addiction? Or will be revealed a little bit later on. If you are just joining us, give us a wave, give us a thumbs up, say hi in the comments below. Always make sure these videos as well, if you've got content from them, if you've got some good information, then do pass them on, share them to people that you know would benefit from this advice, and to any Facebook groups you are a member of. So, the video, provocative title, What the F Does Your Hair Have to Do with Your Addiction? Hey Deb, how are you? So, the interesting thing is this, my hair is growing. I haven't been to a barber in about 6 months. We're under lockdown, right? And in Toronto, we're under the longest lockdown of anywhere in the world. So it is what it is. Hence why I'm wearing a cap, although I am rocking it rather strongly. So I don't know if you notice this, but if you've got a new hairstyle, and perhaps you're starting to comb your hair in a different way. You're combing your hair in a different way than perhaps it's used to going. And as you start to comb that hair in a different way than it's used to going, what does it do? It repels against it. You know, you're trying to do a side parting, and suddenly if you're used to combing your hair forward or not having any hair at all, what happens when you start to try and style it differently, i.e. a side parting? It will go against you, it will fight against you, it will flop forward, it will flop to the other side, it will flop back, but it will not go the way you want it to go. That side parting will not go quietly into the night. So what happens is you have to start to train your hair over time, combing it a certain way, cutting it a certain way, applying product in a certain way, the way you want it to land, the way you want it to sit. And after time, it may be a day, it might be 3 days, it might be 5 days, hell, it might be a week. But after a period of time, your hair is trained and will start to fall that way. You wake up in the morning, and although your hair may be a bit messy, it won't take that much training, that much combing for it to just adjust to fall back to its new default. Neurological pathways in your brain. Hey Donna, how are you? If you just joined us, give us a wave, give us a thumbs up, say hi in the comments below. Neurological neurological pathways in your brain, to throw some neuroscience on you, are much the same way. How does that relate to your addiction? Let's say you've been over drinking, over drugging, over snorting, all right? And for a period of time, a year, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Then you wake up the next day and it's just easier for you to do that, even though it's self-destructive and there's a part of you that desperately wants to stop it. It's just easier for you to continue drinking, drugging, whatever that toxic, destructive, addictive pattern is in your life. So when you stop for a moment and you don't use, it's like trying to comb your hair the other way. It repels, it will fight against it. It's like, no, I ain't doing the side parting, I ain't flopping to this side. I'm used to you combing me forward or you combing me back. I'm not going to flop over this side just because you've combed me a couple of times. And then you start using your drugs some more and you're like, I've been defeated. But if what you realised is, hey, stopping doing my drug today, it's a bit like combing my hair, a new style. It's going to be weird, it's not going to sit, it's not going to be the perfect style. The first time I do that side parting or whatever it is, it's not going to look right, it's going to be messy. I'm going to have to fight for maybe hours to try and get it remotely looking appealing without a cap. Oh, well, I don't know about this. Maybe I should go back to the old way, because it kind of looked all right the old way. Even though my hair's a bit long, it kind of looked all right the old way. But you know what? I'm looking at this new way of being. I'm going to try something different. I'm going to attempt something different. So the next day you wake up and you do your hair again, the new way. And it still looks a bit weird. You still have to fight with it with hammer and tongs. You still have to apply the product. Looks a little bit better, but it ain't cooperating. You do this for a few days, maybe a week. Then suddenly you wake up and your hair's kind of like the way it was when you went to sleep. Yeah, it might be messier, but when you flick your fingers through it, when you flick your hands through it, it falls to where you want it to fall. And you need to apply less and less product, less and less times with the hair straighteners and what have you. Neurological pathways in your brain are a bit like that. What are neurological pathways? How do they apply to your drug of choice and your addiction? Well, in our brain is the paths, neurological pathways. It's how we do things. It's Friday. You know what that means? I'm going to use drugs. You use drugs. Hey, it's Saturday. You know what that means? I'm going to use drugs. It's Sunday. You know what that means? I'm going to use drugs. There's a well-worn neurological pathway in your brain, which is you wake up and you start. There's triggers, right? And you start to use your drug of choice. Now, the first time you interrupt that, i.e. comb your hair a different way, it's going to feel awkward as hell. It's going to feel weird. It ain't going to cooperate. The demons are going to come out in full force and give you a pounding. They ain't going to shut up. But if you can weather the storm, all right, you wake up the next day. Neurological pathway starts to form the opposite. Hey, I can wake up. It could be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. All these triggers can go on. Yeah, I didn't use. New neurological pathway starts to get formed in your brain. All the triggers are still there, but I don't have to use. I can deal with them in a different way. You get up the next day and you wake up and it's a little bit easier. It's a little bit easier now because, right, your hair's combed that way. All right, you know the metaphor. Hey, Jerry, Lee, Williams, how are you? And now you're making another day, choosing, hey, I'm not going to go down this path anymore. I'm not going to comb my hair the old way anymore. I'm combing my hair the new way right now. So it's another day. I am consciously choosing not to use today, to do something better, to deal with my issues, to feel things. Neurological pathway, the new one, the one you want, the one of sobriety is a bit stronger, is a bit thicker, is a bit deeper right there. After a week or so, your hair is just falling into place. It's a lot easier. Not perfect, but a lot easier. It's now easier to say, hey, you know what? All those triggers are still there, but I ain't going down that neurological pathway now in that brain, or that road, for want of a better word, in your brain to use. I'm going to go down this new path, this new road. I've got a week behind me now. I'm going to go longer now. I can do this. Yes, sometimes the demons come out. Sometimes I have to face them. Not always is my hair looking immaculate, but it's been conditioned to such an extent now where it kind of falls the way I want it to fall. So that's something that I've learned recently in lockdown with my hair, is I'm going for a new style because I haven't had it cut. I'm trying to look somewhat presentable out there. And I realised I'm trying to, give my hair a bit of a pompadom. Didn't have time to do it today and I had a massage, so they're going to mess my hair up anyway, so I didn't bother doing it. But get some volume in it, right? Get some volume in it. My hair was a lot shorter and it took time. It's taken patience over the last couple of weeks, but I'm finally getting there. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But I'm kind of getting there with the volume, with the hair, and it looking vaguely presentable. I'm doing the best, as I'm sure you are, with what we've got under lockdown. Like I say, in Toronto, where I am, it's the longest lockdown in the world right now. So yeah, that's what your hair and combing your hair has to do with your addiction, or any pattern or any behaviour that you do in life. Why it starts off difficult when you want to change something, but then when you proceed and you keep putting time and diligence in it, keep combing the hair the way you want it to comb, it starts to fall into place. But it does take some time, it does take some patience. Okay, and it does take sometimes being kind to yourself. If you've got any questions about that, I'm going to be here for another couple of minutes and I'll answer them live if you put them in the comments box below. You got any questions about addiction? You've got any questions about hypnosis? Just put them in the comments below and I'll answer them live in the next couple of minutes. If you're watching this after the fact, you can also put your comments below and I will endeavour to answer those questions. Just before I go as well, for the next week or so, I'm doing free. That's not free, it's free, as in it doesn't cost anything. Actually, I don't like the word free. It implies no value, so non-cost. I charge for screening calls. Screening call is the door to open where we can have a chat to see if I can help you in the future overcome your addiction or whatever your issue is. I usually charge for these calls. I have been charging them since this January, actually late December. But for the next 2 weeks or however long we've got left in April, they are going to be free. There's only a limited amount of spots. If you're interested, if you do want some help, and you're going to be active about it, not passively wanting me to fix your issues, because that ain't how change work and hypnosis works. It's a very active process where I'm guiding you, I'm coaching you, but you're doing all the work. But if you're interested in that, learning the next step and doing it for no cost, at least for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to leave a link in the comments below. Just click on the link, follow the simple instructions, and we can chat on the phone or over the messenger by voice, and present you some ways that potentially I can help you. That being said, I'm going to go about my day. So I'll see you. Same Luke time, same Luke place, same Luke channel. Always believe.